Hi, katzcradul here. I've gardened for many years, and a long time ago when I lived in southeast Texas I tried growing potatoes. I was never successful. We always had too much rain and the potatoes rotted in the ground. So this year I was at the grocery store and I saw a basket of seed potatoes and the sign on them said Kennebec. And I knew from reading many different articles that Kennebec are the choice of potatoes for many of the fine restaurants across the country. They are delicious, fried, mashed, scalloped, however you cook them, they hold up well. And one of the traits of them is that they taste very potatoey. Sometimes a potato will taste really starchy, sometimes it'll taste kind of dirty, but these potatoes are known for being very potatoey, and when they're cooked it brings out the nuttiness in the potatoes. So I was excited to find them. I bought about 2 pounds of them and planted me a little potato patch with hopes that they would do well, but you know, I didn't have my heart set on it because I'd never had very much luck before. And while some of the potatoes in the potato patch still have some blossoms on them, others are turning slightly yellow, right, Prepare?
Yes, ma'am, that's right. And we have a bunch of potato plants, and only a couple of them are starting to turn yellow. Like she said, some of them still have blossoms on them. But here is Haldon Prepper, my dad, starting to dig up potatoes, and he's putting his pitchfork in the ground.
And I told him to be really careful because we have lots of volunteer tomatoes that are coming up in there, don't we?
Yes, ma'am. Here he is. They're continuing to dig up, and we really didn't have to.
Yeah, we thought it might be a little early, but we were just so anxious we thought we'd take a little look-see.
And here we could just pull back the mulch, and there they were. Some of them still have a little green on them, but Mom can just cut those off, and we'll eat them just like that. We'll continue to wait a little while before we dig up any more because of the little green.
Yeah, there's no urgency, and we'll just dig them up as we need them. Look at that.
As she mentioned them rotting in southeast Texas, they aren't rotting here. We're in some severe drought.
Yeah, and that's another good point. Here's the little size potato I started with. It was, you can see it in relationship to a quarter, and it's sitting on top of that pile, and this is how many potatoes they yielded. Was it fun to discover them?
It was. You'd uncover one and you'd be excited, and then you could uncover another one and you'd be excited all over again.
It's kind of like a treasure hunt, wasn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, so I figure about 13 times my original investment for this one plant. And you'll notice the ones that were closer to the top were perfectly clean. You can see them. They look like they've been washed. I did not wash any of them. The ones at the bottom have dirt on them, and the dirt was moist, wasn't it? Once we got down there, it was amazingly moist, and we have not had rain for 2 weeks.
It's been a bad drought, and the dirt was perfectly moist, and you didn't really have to dig at all. You could just move it with your fingers a few inches down.
I know it. Another testament to the Back to Eden method of gardening. I was really shocked when we dug down to get the biggest potatoes, and it was just as moist down there as it could be. I'm telling you, I'm finding this more and more exciting as I dig in the ground. As everybody else's garden is dying and is parched, my garden is thriving. So anyway, look for Kennebec potatoes. I know that you can order them online. They're a hybrid produced in the USA in 1941. They're a cross between the Chippewa and the katzcradul potato. They were first raised on a farm in Maine and first made it to market in 1948. They're noted for having very shallow eyes, no holes, a rich meaty flavor, and they're not for sale in your grocery store generally, but you can order them and you can plant them yourself. I hope you'll give them a try. Katzcradul
And Prepare.